you're planning to come to the UK in 2026 or beyond, here are some schools or some things you should look out for in schools, and some kind of schools you should avoid. Like, avoid with all your strength and your mind and your heart. In fact, run. Run, oh, you get that kind of thing. So hi guys, this is me. You all know me. And in this video, I'll be sharing, basically what I just said, okay? So please like this video, leave a comment, and of course, subscribe to help me hit my target of 50,000 subscribers by the end of next year. Please, if you're watching this video, I beg you, in the name of God, give this video a thumbs up. Hype this video. Hype this video, guys. Well, in another video, I explain like whatever hype is and how it works. But please like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe. I will be very grateful, okay? So are you planning to come to the UK in 2026 or maybe 27 beyond? Okay, here are some schools I feel like you should avoid and have nothing to do with, because they will land you in what? Trouble. Number one, schools are schools that offer you low deposit. You see a school, their school fees is 15,000, 18,000, some even as high as 20,000, but their deposit is 2,000. They tell you, no, you just pay 2,000. They'll give you your cash, issue your cash, you go do your visa, come. Imagine coming to the UK and you are owing 18,000 pounds as school fees. Where you want start? I mean, even if you don't pay rent, you live with a family friend or someone and you don't pay rent, where do you want to start paying 18,000 by working 20 hours? Olebe, you get. So they know that you are desperate, and when they tell you 2,000 pounds, you will rush and say, it's cheap, it's cheap, without considering the fact that you still have like 80%. See, don't come to the UK if you plan to pay only 20% as deposit and work to pay 80%. Don't bother. Stay in Nigeria and enjoy. Eat your mother's food. Stay in Lagos traffic in peace. Stay in Ojo Eleba. Don't come with the hopes that 80% of your fees you're going to work it here and pay. I beg, you get. So they know that you are desperate, and when they tell you that's low amount, you will hustle. You say, that's fine. Maybe only 2,000 pounds. I will pay them now. What's there? I'm sorry. And before you know it, you are here, and then the reality has dawned on you that almost it's not that easy. And guess what? Schools that do like that, they are the ones that are very quick to report you. This brings me to my second point. Schools that are quick to report to Home Office. Now, before you make an inquiry, before you pay your school fees, before you say, okay, this is the school, you finally decide this is the school I want to go to, try to listen to what old students are saying, because most times people come online to share their experience, either on TikTok or on YouTube or whatever. They come to share their experience with these schools. There are some schools that after the first warning and second, in fact, first one is they don't go, they write to Home Office to report you. Some schools are really very fast and quick to report you to Home Office, probably to exonerate themselves, or probably they're just being, wicked. That one said you get. There are schools that are very fast. Meanwhile, there are other schools that even when you are delaying, they keep reminding you. They are not quick. In fact, for them to report you, that means maybe you have even finished school, pata, and you never pay. That's when they can even. But some other schools, they don't even want to wait for you to even go to the end of the semester before they start reporting you. Number one, low deposit. Number two, check those schools that are quick to report. Those schools that, I'm not saying when you come, don't relax, so don't try to pay. That one, they still try to pay, but you can't take away the fact that there are sometimes you may not meet up with their payment dates and all of that. They will just rush, go report you. So check what old students are saying about these schools. And if you hear one or two people, or three people or more saying that, this school they report, come on body, unless of course you have the full money to pay. Another third school you should avoid are schools that have unrealistic payment plan. You would agree with me that there are people who come to the UK like 2 months, 3 months, they've not started working. Sometimes 4 months, they've not started working. And because of that, they are unable to meet up with this payment plan. Some schools will tell you to pay only in 2 installments. And that's let's assume you owe 8K. And that 2 installments is like 4,000 within 4 months apart. You get 4 months apart. In the first 4 months, you pay, not even 4 months, they don't even do 3 months. In the first 3 months, you pay the 4,000. The next 3 months, you pay the 4,000. Sometimes these payments plan are unrealistic. If you're not working, or maybe you stay working and you're working in 20 hours, you cannot meet up with this payment plan, and you know deep down that you can't. But these schools are very strict. By the time you miss the first payment plan, everywhere done they turn. Your eye go down they turn on your own. They go down they threaten. I will report. So look at the payment plan. It's okay for them to say, a school pays like 12K. Okay, not bad. 11K, not bad. But look at the payment plan. Is this something you know that when you come, even when you start, if you start working maybe after 1 month, or even if you start working immediately, is this something you know deep down that you can finish paying? If your answer to that question is no, try, move, check other schools, and check other schools that have, better payment plan. Don't want to put yourself inside, wahala that you don't know, okay? So, for instance, my school, their payment plan, I wouldn't even say, well, I would say my school has a payment plan, but basically you can pay little by little until you finish paying. It doesn't mean that you have to like follow the plan verbatim, you get, okay? And even when the deadline reaches, I'm not saying you should come and you get, and even when the deadline reaches, there's still a little bit of leniency before they eventually, you know, block your account. Because I know that my payment was due for May 30th and they did not block it until like August, okay? So it was now until second week when I finished paying, that was when they unblocked it. Mind you, the only reason I was not shaking then was that I'll break now, they house, so block it now, what's my own? You get. But if you are studying, currently actively studying at that time, it would affect you because you can't submit your assignments, you can't get updates. If there is an assignment deadline, you're going to miss it because your portal is closed, and so that is when it's going to be really hard for you. But you see, payment plan is very important. Try to you know, ask about that before you head on. Another thing you should check out is schools that exist, that like schools in a place with high cost of living. Now this is very tricky because there are some schools that are quite cheap, but they live in a they exist, or they are in a city that is so expensive, so most of the students don't even live in that city. So if you plan to live in such a city, you are spending more, so you are paying, it's like penny wise pound foolish, you're paying lower school fees but you're paying more in rent, you get. So but some other person that is paying a little bit higher school fees, they're paying, you know, lower. So it's more like an exchange. So cities, if you know, some cities are even, some schools are even in cities that they are expensive, and they're in cities that are also equally expensive. So it's going to be harder. Once you're selecting schools, look out for schools that are in cities where students can live and it's not so expensive. Maybe houses, shared apartments that cost, let's say, some cities cost as low as £300 for a shared apartment. Yes, some even cost as low as £250. So £250, £350, £300, they are not bad for students, okay? But once you're now in a city where, you know, all these cities close to London and there are people, well, rich students stay there, so no worries about that. You now be seeing shared apartment for like 600k, £600, 700. Shared apartment, not en suite, oh, you get. So it's good to make that inquiry to know what you're getting yourself into, so when you get there, you know shock you like film. Another thing to look out for another school you should avoid is schools that pay high school fees. You guys may disagree with me, a lot of people may disagree with me with this, but I always say that most schools, in fact all the schools in the UK, have literally the same standard, aside Ivy League schools, or maybe schools that have existed for so long, so they have that prestige that, oh, you attend Cambridge, you attend Oxford, you know, Ivy League schools, and then of course schools that are prestigious. But basically the standard of education for me is the same everywhere. Like you have the same facilities, it's like an equal playing field for everybody. Like I said, you can disagree with me if you want, but then don't attend a school. The only reason you can attend a school that pays so much, like a very high school fees, is the fact that maybe the course you're doing is rare. It's not a course that most schools do, or maybe you're doing medicine. Basically, you're just doing a rare course that only a few schools do it, or basically you're doing a professional course, maybe one of these tech courses, you know, very, very professional, advanced, and that school you chose, and a few other schools that the only schools that do. But if not, why are you going to a school that pays £20,000, 20 something thousand for a course, the same course that you're going to pay £25,000 or 20,000? Another school does it for like £15,000. Like I said, for me, the standard of education is the same. So why are you choosing this over this when there is no? It's not a case of quality over quantity. They are basically on the same level, and you get. So another reason you choose a school that pays high school is that you can afford it. You can pay all of the school fees, you can afford it. But if you're doing the plan of when you come, you pay half, and when you come, you hustle for the way, there's no point going to a school that pays to like high school fees. Now, what's your time? Like, what is your goal in life, really? I mean, like I said, if you can afford it, fine, go ahead, by all means, pay that high school fees. But if your plan is to come to work, why are you now coming to hustle to pay 15,000 you owe, or 10,000 you owe? Meanwhile, another school you can pay 7,000 deposit, and the only thing you owe again is like 4k or 5k. You get. So it doesn't make sense. Avoid schools that pay high school fees. There's no that course you want to study, check it out in other schools before you make payment, before you take class, before you whatever. Do a Google research. That's why you have Google research. Check other schools that have cheaper. If you are in doubt, check out the content of those courses, because sometimes you say, oh, this course is more packed than the other school, this school has more courses in between. The curriculum are still similar. Look their modules, of course, on their website, not just the course name. You also see their modules. Look up their modules, compare. You go see saying almost the same thing they do. So don't go and throw money somewhere when you get. Look, use Use your head, okay? So another school to avoid, especially if you're coming like as a January intake, is schools or schools that don't go on summer break. There are schools that, yes, they go on summer break, but it's a very short break. Like, it's not like the extended, normal 3 month summer break. Schools that don't go on summer break, if you attend such a school, it will be harder for you to pay your fees, because mind you, your hope, or most people, they hope that, oh, they will work to pay. So the only time you get to work to pay is when you are during break, or during summer break, Christmas break, long vacations like that. You have time. Imagine going on a 3 month summer break. You go work within that 3 months. You are able to at least pay 90, if not 100% of your school fees within that period. So if you're coming in, especially as a January intake, ensure, look out for schools that go on long summer, not summer break of 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Not that kind of summer break. Long summer break of 3 months, 2 months plus. You get at least 1 month plus. Okay, so any school that does not go on summer break is after your life. Oh, they don't love you. Especially if you are hustling to pay. Okay, that school doesn't love you. Avoid that school. Come to a school that goes on summer break, so you can at least have time to actually work full time and pay. So capiche. Oh, this is why I say, let me tell you guys. So once you're going to make, I see a lot of, sometimes it's not like I'm trying to yap, but sometimes people ask questions that they should have easily googled. Like, for instance, somebody will just come online to type, this school, I want to go to university. Oh, is this school good? It's good that you're making such inquiries. Of course, you probably will find people who went to those schools who will respond to you. But basically, if you do a Google search or your normal research, go on YouTube, you will find people sharing real life experiences about these places. Before you make decisions, before you japa is one thing that once you're in Nigeria, you are desperate to leave. But when you come, you go, they look yourself at the desperation, you're like, hey, and maybe this truly na you, oh, nobody else, na you. So calm down, breathe, take a breather. I know Nigeria, everybody wants to escape. Everybody, Nigeria is this, so government is the inflation. Calm down, and make decisions to come to the right school, so that you will not run kitty, so that nobody will threaten you every market day to report you to home office. Okay, be sure that it's something within your means, something you can afford, and something that is not an overstretch. Okay, that's what I said. Let me tell you guys in this video. I know some people have been watching, I've watched this video up to this point, they've not still liked it, they've not still subscribed, they've not still, of course, if you don't want to leave a comment, it's fine, but at least like the video and subscribe. Okay guys, thank you so much for giving me a listening ear and putting this thing I said in practice. Okay, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Toodles.